I am Pavitra Govindan. I am assistant professor at University of Utah, and this is joint work with Matt Brown, Fulia, Tomer from University of Chicago, and with Pelu at University of Utah. And this is an experiment that we ran at University of Chicago just this quarter, last quarter. And so the question is, can a customized AI tutor support collaborative learning in a large introductory economics course? And I'll just give you the quick result is that so far the data that we've collected is suggests that, well, there is potential, but we do not have significant results yet, statistically significant results. Okay, so we don't find that these tutors have either positive or negative effects on their performance in a quiz and in the midterm exam. So that's the main result that we found so far, but we are a bit underpowered and we are planning to collect more data. Okay. So motivation, well, in this session, we all know that group work matters, and a lot of college learning, group work plays a vital role in that, providing both social and cognitive benefits from cooperative learning. And we all agree that AI is a big part of education now, whether we like it or not. And so what we want to study is kind of how do they interact with each other. So when we have collaborative settings, and how does having access to, let's say, a customized AI, how does it help or impede group interactions, and how does it help with the learning outcomes? So that's the research gap that we want to fill. So the context is Econ 10,000. It's an introductory microeconomics course at U Chicago, and they have two 80-minute lectures, and they also have every week a 50-minute discussion section. And so our experiment we conduct, this classroom experiment, happens in these discussion sections. And there are roughly 75 students enrolled per section. And this semester, this quarter, University of Chicago said that the attendance is optional in these sections, and that's one of the reasons why our enrollments in this experiment were lower. And so we have three instructors, Fulia, Matt, and Tomer. Each of them have two sections, and they were running this experiment in their course in U Chicago just in this winter quarter. And the teaching challenge that we want to solve with the help of AI is that often when you have discussion sections with very large groups or very large classrooms, there is limited TA capacity. And our proposed solution is maybe a customized AI tutor that gives hints and reinforces without giving the answer away might be a good solution, or something that can be in addition to a TA support in a TA section. So that's the motivation. And what was our customized AI tutor? It was built using U Chicago's Phoenix AI, which is the AI that the university uses. And what we do is we train this AI bot on course slides, practice questions. So all the practice questions that they use in the TA section, it's trained on those questions and detailed solutions to those questions. And this AI does not have access to the internet, and it's only available during discussion sections to the students that are assigned to this treatment of having AI access. Okay, so the access to this bot is gated. So the feature about this AI tutor is that it does not give away direct answers. Instead, it gives hints and targeted questions, and like some sort of a Socratic tutor. So we programmed it to be a Socratic tutor, so it does not give away the answers, and helps the students step by step. And we also have the measure of all the Phoenix, the AI interactions that the students had with the AI. So that is the data that we haven't looked at yet. So how did the students interact with this AI, and how the nature of their interaction affects the utility of the tool. So we haven't yet looked at that part of the data. So what exactly happens in the experiment is that it's a 50-minute session. The students come in. There is a setup time where they are assigned the treatment, and based on the treatment assignment, they form groups for that section. And then they have a practice. So they have a practice assignment. So they're given a paper, a printed paper with questions, and the students are supposed to answer those questions in a group. And every group has people who have either been assigned to this custom GPT or a group that has not been assigned. And so they have this practice questions for which they don't get any points. They are just practice questions, and they are in preparation for a quiz that they take after that. And so there is a 10-minute quiz, and that is an individual level quiz without any access to AI. And then we ask them a short survey about, their group interactions, how stressed they felt about it, how prepared they were, and so on. So the main treatment variable is whether the group with these students had access to this customized AI tutor or the control group which did not have access to this tutor. And both the groups were strongly discouraged to use any other AI tools. And the TA in the classroom ensured that they were not using anything on any AI tools. They were allowed to use the browser, the internet. I don't remember that, but they are definitely encouraged to not use any other AI tools. Okay, so what all did we measure is the primary learning outcomes are the weekly quiz grade. So every section, they had this practice with AI or without AI, and they took a quiz. So we have those quiz scores. And we also have their midterm grades. And there are other things that we measured, attitudes towards group work, towards AI, how stressed they were after the quiz, and whether they actually followed the rules of AI access and so on. And the randomization that happened was at the individual student level and stratified by instructor section. Remember, there are 5 sections for each instructor, and there are 3 instructors. And students are assigned to either having AI access or not having AI access just before each section. And groups are formed within the treatment status and re-randomized each session. So every student in a session are either assigned the treatment or not. If they are assigned the treatment, they form a group which also has the same treatment assignment as them. And this basically happens at every section. So they don't have fixed groups. And in terms of the timeline, so there's an initial survey in the beginning, and then so weeks 2 to 4, so weeks 2, 3, and 4 are these sections where they do this practice and quiz, and they take the survey, and then they have the midterm exam, and they do another survey. And then after that, we have the rest of the semester. But the rest of the semester, they don't have randomized assignment of treatment. The assignment depends on prior exposure so that all the students have equal access to this AI tool for ensuring fairness of the experiment. So the main data that we look at is from week 1 till the midterm week, because after that, the treatment assignment is not random. And students were given a very small extra credit, up to 2 points based on their quiz performance and whether they completed all these surveys. And students who consented to be part of the research were also entered into a raffle to get one of 5 $50 gift cards. So the big questions that we hope to learn in this experiment is, does AI access help students learn during collaborative practice? Or does it change the ways group interact in ways that offset learning gains? So like they just are on their AI and they don't even talk to each other. That can happen. And another teaching question, more practical one, is can customized AI tutors make active learning more feasible in large introductory courses? So I think the difference between the experiment we run and the others who have done similar things with customized AI GPT is we are doing something in the classroom, and often most experiments that people run they have access to this GPT all the time outside. And so, as I said, so far our results are null. So we find that for the quiz scores, the quiz that they take immediately after access to their the AI or not having access, we find that there is no effect on this quiz score for the students, whether they were part of groups which had access to GPT or which did not have access to this custom GPT. The midterm scores, on the other hand, show that maybe having more access or more exposure to this AI chatbot may have helped some students or may have helped students, even though this result is also not statistically significant.
I have to ask you to conclude. Uh,
Oh, okay.
let's go
All
to,
right.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. So that's the main result that we are a little bit underpowered, so we might collect more data. And the main result is that while the students seem to like having this collaborative AI, and we are still looking at all the other measures, we don't yet have results for them yet. We are still doing the data analysis. So I'll stop there.
Thank you so much. And let's go to the questions. In the meantime, can I ask you to stop the share so that we go to the gallery view? Question about, the AI itself. Doug asked, what LLM underlies Phoenix AI?
It is ChatGPT, I think, but I can confirm that.
We had some questions about the trial itself. Ahmad asked, are there any controls in place to prevent students from using other LLMs during the sessions?
So they were mostly discouraged. They were told, please don't use any other LLMs. And there was a TA monitoring the use. And then we also follow up in the surveys, ask them if they actually did use it. So that were the checks that we had. Um,
Thank you. Carlos asked, what mechanism do you think it's affecting the group's performance?
so so far, we haven't seen an effect, right? We don't find a significant effect. So our original idea was that the way it'll affect is that sometimes, let's say a group is having a discussion and they get stuck or they don't know how to proceed any further. So then they could use this bot to, understand, okay, we are stuck here. What do we do next? And that it can give you hints and move the group discussion further, just like a real TA would. And in the absence of TAs, if you have to wait for a TA for a while to get access to them, it's better than that. So that was the main idea, how it would help groups learn better.
And I think several people, mainly Doug, has asked about this. Could you go explain the randomization rationale again, please?
So how we did the randomization? So so the randomization was done for every student before the section has started. So we all know that there are about 50 students in a section, or 75 students in a section. So they were already randomized to either treatment or control even before they arrived to the section. And they've been assigned gated access to these chatbot. And once they arrive, say, I mean, so there is this issue of they might not show up, right? So so there's an issue of not they might not show up, but however, whatever treatment has been assigned to them is already assigned to them, and based on that, the groups are formed, which are usually of size 5, but sometimes they could be a little smaller or a little larger.
Thank you. Now, Mohammed asked, do you consider comparing customer tutor, the Chicago one, to that's one group, to a control group where they're using a more conventional bot?
Yeah, yeah. That's something we have not done, but that's a very good idea. Yes.
And I think one more. Doug asks, are the students in treatment sections actually using the custom tutor? Which I think yes, correct? Yep.
Yes. So every section has both treatment and control groups.
Mhm.
So yeah. So you have groups which are assigned this, and so they are using the custom tutor. Yes.
And Adil, do you think there were spillovers between the treated students and the control group?
Uh, and that might be driving the null results. Well, you mean outside the section, it's possible that it happens, right? Within the section, it is not possible because these groups are separated and there's a TA monitoring them. But if they go outside and they talk about it and they tell them what the GPT said, I mean, that is possible, yes.
Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate it. Let's go to our